And we're back. You're listening to the Talkin Boxing with Billy C show. Glad you could join us. Don't forget, we are doing a Pacquiao Mayweather Fight Night special. It's going to be on site, St. Simon's Island, Sal's restaurant. It's going to be a great time for all. One price includes everything: food, the fight, liquor, beer, water, us, you being part of the show, all the celebrities, all of that stuff. Check it out, www.ldltv.com or southsenecola.com. Also, if you're looking for vitamin supplement or, whatever else you need from companies like that, vitamins and or supplements, I should say, check out USANA, www.billycboxing.com. Click on the USANA banner. Jeff Smith is our Blast from the Past on Wednesday, so make sure you tune in for that. All right, it's time every week, at least when I'm here every week, I do the Billy C's Boxing on TV ratings. Now, I've missed a few weeks, but it doesn't mean I haven't missed the rankings. I just missed putting them up on the website and talking about them here. So after today, you could check out the website, www.billycboxing.com, under the TV rankings, ratings, and I will have all the updates. So let's go back to March 20th. It was a Fox Sports broadcast. The main event, I scored it a very good. The main event featured Alfonso Gomez against Yoshihiro Kamagagi. It was a rock'em sock'em, non-stop action battle from start to finish. Both fighters had their moments, and this is the type of main event that we must have for all televised boxing, regardless of the channel. I loved it. I scored it a very good. As far as the co-main event or the undercards, I scored it as satisfactory. Ronnie Rios versus Sergio Frias was okay. It was nothing great. It was nothing terrible. I personally felt Rios should have had a better performance against clearly a lower-level fighter in Frias, but that's just my opinion. The Kavanaugh-Zamdudio fight had excitement and drama, and if Rios could have been a little more exciting, I think this other undercard would have earned a very good, but as it stands, I score it a satisfactory. As far as the crowd was very good. The crowd was into it from start to finish. The seats seemed all full. I think the excitement of the main event and the Kavanaugh-Zamdudio fight gets my overall rating for the crowd up to a 4, which is very good. As far as the referees and the officials are concerned, unsatisfactory. Normally, the referees seem to carry the score because, as we all know, boxing is subjective, and the judges are positioned in 3 different locations so they can see 3 different views. However, how all 3 of the judges seem to get the main event totally wrong is beyond me. The Gomez-Kamagagi fight was close. In no way, shape, or form was it as all 3 of the judges scored it 98-91, which means they all viewed this fight as an 8-rounds-to-2 fight. I think even if you sway towards Gomez, this fight should have been a 6-4 at best. If one judge had it 77-3, at 7 rounds to 3, and the other 2 had it 6-4, I think I would have been okay with that. But to me, to get all 3 of these judges to score at 98-91, I don't know, man. So listen, I score this an unsatisfactory at 2. The referees, they did a decent job to keep it at a 2. As far as the commentators, hey, nothing bad, nothing good, satisfactory. What it boils down to is a total of 16 points, which averages out to a 3.2, which is a satisfactory rating for the March 20th Fox Sports show. On March 26th, ESPN they did their 9th show at the time. I think I might have missed one, but according to me, it would be my 9th that I'm rating. The main event, I give it a 4. It was a very good main event between Frederick Lawson and Breeders Prescott. It was a perfect main event for ESPN or any network television. It was competitive. It was entertaining. It was very good. I scored it a 4. The undercard, the televised undercard, I scored it a 4. Another very good. The Bartholomew Perez fight was one-sided when it went live, but I give it a pass because it was good on paper, and personally I felt that Bartholomew has gotten that good that he blew out his opponent. But the Ahmed Abeli and Mike Stafford fight was above average. It was good on paper, and it was good in the ring. Stafford was a stern test for the fast-rising Abeli. I scored that a very good. As far as the crowd, for the most part, the crowd was good. There seemed to be some empty seats at times. The crowd seemed a bit quiet, but other times they were loud. It just wasn't throughout the whole through the whole broadcast, and I thought it should have been. I mean, we kind of saw some exciting fights. I scored it as satisfactory for the crowd. As far as the officials' performance, despite, in my opinion, a horrific performance by referee Sam Burgos in the Abeli and Stafford fight, in which, in my opinion, he missed a knockdown from a body shot. He missed another that he called a low blow, which was on the belt line, and his point deduction for Stafford for no reason was terrible. The rest of the card was okay. The judges were all on the same page, so they carry it to a satisfactory. But Sam Burgos, man, he was awful that night. And as far as the commentary goes, listen, I have to kick them while they're down. I give them a 2, an unsatisfactory. The studio guy is a bump on a log, and he's clearly not a boxing guy. Then you have Lurch interviewing fighters with absolutely no emotion, and Todd Grisham, who was downright terrible. Once again, Teddy, who's, yes, he's funny and he knows his stuff, but, he's not a guy to carry the broadcast. But yet he did, and he carried it to an unsatisfactory. If it wasn't for Teddy, this would have been a pour for the commentating. So thanks to Teddy, they get just an unsatisfactory score by me. And total was 16. If you average it out, again, it's 3.2 for a satisfactory overall grade. On March 28th, Showtime had their 5th event. The main event, I scored it a very good. There was actually 2 main events, and when you add them together, despite being somewhat blowouts, Russell stopping Gonzalez in the 4th, and Brook, I combine these two. Kell Brook stopping Jojo Dan in 4. To me, both of these fights added up to one very good score. So I scored it at 4. The undercard, I think the Charlo Martirosyan fight was the most competitive and best fight on paper for the entire TV broadcast and for both of these cards. Even though I felt Martirosyan won by a point and should have at least been awarded a draw, the fight was close and entertaining. I scored it a 4. It was very good. As far as the crowd, both venues, England and Vegas, were packed and the crowds were into it. I couldn't give it less than a very good. I scored it a 4, no doubt about that. The officials were satisfactory in my opinion. I did want to criticize the one judge who scored the Martirosyan Charlo fight 97-93, which I think was a little out there. But for the most part, the officiating from top to bottom was satisfactory. And the commentating for Showtime, unsatisfactory. I tried to give this at least a satisfactory score because Al Bernstein and Paulie Malignaggi are tops in the business. There's no question about it. And they were dead on Saturday night. They were dead on, I should say, on Saturday night. They were just as good as they always are, Al and Paulie. But Ronaldo and Mo, as they're calling him now, is the worst blow-by-blow guy in the sport of boxing. His delivery is overwhelming. His attempts at humor are dead flat. And add to him Jim Gray, who is the worst one-on-one interviewer in all of sports, the emotionless Brian Custer. The promotion of Al Heyman's Premier Boxing Champions Series was terrible. I can understand and accept them promoting the CBS event because CBS is the parent company of Showtime, but they promoted all of Al's events and shows coming up. This is further showing, to me, the monopoly that Al Heyman has on boxing. To rely on one man is extremely dangerous, If he succeeds, then it's going to be great for boxing. But if he fails, it's going to destroy our sport. In my opinion, I really don't want to jeopardize the sport I love for one man's financial gain. I rate the commentators unsatisfactory for the Showtime March 28th show. You add it all up, it comes out to be 17 divided by the 5, 3.4. They get a satisfactory grade. It's a shame because of Ronaldo and the rest of the dead guys they got laying around. They could have easily gotten a very good overall score. It was a good event, that's for sure. On April 4th, on the CBS's second broadcast, I scored the main event a satisfactory. It was the Adonis Stevenson-Sakio Bika fight. It may have looked good on paper, but the fight was exactly what it was supposed to be, a showcase fight. It was not exciting in any way, shape, or form, and all it did for me was solidify the fact that Kovalev will destroy Stevenson when and if they ever meet. I scored the main event a satisfactory. As far as the undercard, I scored a very good. On paper, it looked like we're going to see Artur Beterbiev get tested by a quality fighter like Gabriel Campillo. Instead, we saw Beterbiev demolish Campillo, which wasn't a bad thing in my opinion. I think this was to show us all that Beterbiev is the real deal, and I, for one, will be interested in seeing how good and where he goes from here. I enjoyed the fight. Despite it being a quick one, I still scored a very good. It gave me, the feeling of a Tyson fight. Not that I'm comparing him to Tyson, but when Tyson fought, if it lasted 30 seconds and we saw a knockout, people left the arena feeling like they got their money's worth. That's kind of how I felt with this co-main event. I scored it a very good. As far as the crowd, again, I got to give it a very good. The venue was packed. The crowd was into this card from start to finish, exactly what we want. I scored out of 4. The officials, they get a satisfactory. Nothing bad, nothing great, satisfactory. And as far as the broadcast team, listen, I'm not crazy about the Premier Boxing Champions formula and their presentation, but it is what it is, and it was a satisfactory production. Total score, 17, 3.4, which averages out to a satisfactory grade. On Friday, Showtime had a broadcast on the 10th. The main event, unsatisfactory. I scored it a 2. Frank Galarza made quick work of Sheldon Moore. This was a mismatch that should have never gotten to a premier cable network. Clearly an unsatisfactory score. The undercard, I scored a satisfactory. They were all mismatch fights, but they were entertaining enough to squeak out a satisfactory rating, in my opinion. As far as the crowd, I give it a satisfactory. It was a small venue, but it was filled. To be honest, the crowd could have been a little more vocal. I give them a satisfactory. As far as the officiating, nothing bad, nothing good, satisfactory. And the commentating, nothing bad, nothing good. I still love Barry Tompkins and Steve Farhood. I think they're one of the top teams, broadcast teams in boxing. I scored a satisfactory. When you total it all up, it comes out to be 14, which averages to a satisfactory 2.8. We round those off. And then on Friday, on April 10th, ESPN had, at least my rankings, the 10th broadcast. The main event, hey, it's a Boxino tournament. Very good, I score it. It was a very good semifinal. Brandon Adams looked good in stopping Garasparian in the main event. I scored it a very good. I also scored the undercard very good because they were all basically main events. The two heavyweight fights were exciting. Federer stopping Lenroy Thomas. And the crushing of Kajanu by Donovan Dennis, that was a shocker to me. Anyway, a lot of you guys picked it right. I picked it wrong. The John Thompson Skokorhad fight was close, but all very good the way I scored that. The crowd, listen, I scored a crowd very good. They get a 4. The crowd was into it. How can we blame them? The show opened up with heavyweights getting knocked out, and I think that kept the crowd jacked up from start to finish. I scored it very good. As far as the officiating, I scored a satisfactory. Nothing bad, nothing great. As far as the commentators, again, I scored a satisfactory, nothing bad, except Todd Grisham, who, in my opinion, is the second worst guy involved in the sport of boxing behind Moralo. Todd Grisham is just, he's single-handedly killing this ESPN broadcast. But they did very well. They total 18, which averages out to 3.6, which gives them a very good rating for the Boxino tournament on Friday night. And finally, the last fight of the ratings to catch us up was NBC. It was their second broadcast of the year. What do I do with the main event? The Peterson-Garcia fight, I scored it a very good. I scored a 4. The Peterson-Garcia fight was a good matchup. I would have liked Peterson to do more of what he did in the last few rounds during the first half of the fight, but it is what it is. I rated this fight a very good. As far as the co-main, I scored it very good. How could you not root for Andy Lee? This kid is a warrior and a great asset to the sport of boxing. Quinlan showed bursts of talent at times, but not enough to be impressive. I think the fight could have gone either way, so a draw was okay in my book. I scored it very good. I actually thought that Andy Lee won the fight a little bit, but that's my opinion. As far as the crowd, I scored that a very good. The New York crowd was clearly rooting for Lee and Garcia, but they were vocal throughout. It also seemed like it was pretty packed. So what else can we ask for, especially in Barclays Center? I scored a very good. As far as the officiating, I scored the officiating satisfactory. Some of the refereeing seemed a little biased to me. When you see a referee go, hey, none of this, poof, and smack, and don't forget, none of this, poof, and none of this, and especially none of this, poof, like the old Three Stooges thing. I'm watching referees smacking the shit out of the fighters. To me that's a little biased. But the judges seemed okay. Those fights were close, even though there was hints of making sure that one guy got it when to make sure the right guy got it, I should say. But I scored a satisfactory. And as far as the commentating, I scored very good. Yeah, I did. Man, talk about a lot of cooks in the kitchen. I don't think I've ever seen so many people involved in a broadcast in the sport of boxing in my life. What was it? 8 guys, 9 people involved? And very rarely does that many cooks in the kitchen work. But to be honest, I thought the announcing team was solid. They didn't step on each other. Nobody was talking over each other. There was no yelling and screaming like Moralo does, that piece of garbage, that worst boxing announcer ever. I mean, there was no yelling and screaming. I thought that they did a fine job. All the points that were made collectively by all the people involved were spot on. Listen, for me to score them any less than a very good wouldn't be fair. I scored a very good. So when you tally up NBC's second broadcast this past weekend, they total 19 points, which averages out to 3.8, which gives them an overall rating of very good. So we're all caught up now. In case you're wondering, I will update the website, but here's the year-to-date ratings. As of now, the fights that we have been rating. HBO has had a total number of 4 events so far this year for a 3.45 year-to-date rating of satisfactory. Showtime has had 6 events, averaged to 2.92, barely for a satisfactory rating. ESPN has 10. They averaged 3.19 for a year-to-date rating of satisfactory. Fox Sports has 5. They averaged 3.27 for a year-to-date rating of satisfactory. NBC has 2, average for 3.5, which is a year-to-date rating of very good. CBS Sports has 2, average for 2.9, which is a satisfactory. And Spike TV, which had that 1, which was a good one, 3.8. Their year-to-date rating is very good. So that concludes my Billy C's Boxing on TV ratings, and you could check that out up on the website, www.billycboxing.com, under where it says TV ratings. Imagine that.